Peace, power, and love. Humam Abdulmalik once again with Blackanized Report, part two of this great uh, moment in our storyline, in our history making events. And it's just an extension, like I said, part two of this great movie, Black Panther, a movie that has caused so much stimulation and motivation and agitation among the people of this nation, mainly for our nation in a positive way, in a constructive way, not in the context of how some people may be taking it in a negative sense, even though it has its duality in the script and content of the strip and the movie itself and all. But all in all, what it has done is somewhat galvanized us as a people to come into a realization in this day and time to be inclined to a perception of ourselves that's more than negative, more than a drug seller, a womanizer, our women being prostituted, our men being promoted as killers of each other. Even though we had some of that the killing in the movie, but when you look at the movie, that killing was not in the sense of for gain of drug or land or property or space or whatever. It's under pretense of a revolutionary thought that was embedded in the soul of an individual. And it was like by divine decree. In the script, though, we know the purpose and aim in our own perceptions. Each one of us have our own perception, but the ones that are the perceptions of this movie, the ones that are kind of clean together are the more prevalent of a unifying nature or whatever. What we need to do is to unify. So I see this movie as that, serving that purpose and that contents of us unifying. Even though we have different perceptions or different concepts of the movie and this and that, it brought us together in this day and time. It's a great day and time because in this time, I say for the last 6 or maybe 10 years, I guess, I know for me, 4, that the energy of the creator and our ancestor has been merging into our temples and into our inner verses and our conscious and subconscious so that we can have a better effect, a profound effect upon this universe and the omniverse that have come or become out of control because of the people that's controlling it. And if we don't take it back to a matriarchic perception and control, then it's going to continue to go into that cesspool of corruption, chaos, and confusion. We talk about this red-haired guy that don't deserve to be called president because of his, as a friend of mine would say, lying tongue, mannerism of being politically astute or representing that seat that not for us anyway. We're just in this system that we need to change. We need to develop our own system once again. And that concept the first will be last and the last will be first. We need to chisel at that and bring it about into the construct of dealing with infrastructure in this day and time. And back to the movie. Black Panther was a great movie in my humble opinion, with all humility, with all the distractions and all the dualities in the movie and the family rivals and this and that. It gave us something to like reflect upon. Me, for one, in my humble, with all humility, ways of living as a Black man, as a spiritual divine man who's ordained, is ordained by being prescripted in my DNA to be who I'm supposed to be today. It took me 61 revolutions in my progress to get to this moment and still have the breath of life that the Creator has afforded me to be here to speak the truth that I know, that I'm guided to speak as being an emissary of our Creator and Lord and our ancestors, whose shoulders we stand upon. In this day, a Sankofa. But now we should be here, developing this land into an infrastructure of ours to have a united Black front, a united front of humanity, to establish, again, Black Wall Streets, to establish a system that we live under. Because the American system of hypocrisy is not slowly, it's rapidly falling. But it's a part of their plan to get a new world order in this chaos and confusion. And all the presidents that been in the seat are part of the perpetration of this system. I don't care who it was, Abraham Lincoln to Obama. And the things they're supposed to have done for us was a deception, in my humble opinion. And is what I feel and see in the reality of me being who I be. Getting back to the movie, and we can look at the movie and reflect upon what I'm talking about. The system. The sister said, one sister, powerful matriarchal oracle, voodoo priestess queen, she said she gonna deal with whoever's in that throne, whoever's on that seat. That's who she's gonna go and follow. And the other sister said, I do that too, but I also support my people. And the love that she had for the brother was more than the love for that throne. And here we go again, we parallel that to this political system. And we say, what is the similarities in that particular point in the movie and this reality that we're in now? Is that whoever in the throne, that's whoever they follow, no matter what he does. He's being obeyed, and he's being and he's leading this country in a downward spiral to self-destruction. But again, it's all part of the plans for anarchy, race war, or anything to get this system in a way that they can bring about and implement their plans of this new world order that they envision. And this thing about taking America back to greatness when it never been great when they've been in leadership. Only time that it been great when we as a people, Native Americans, indigenous people here before they came here, was the only time that peace and harmony reigned throughout the whole land. Peace and harmony, even though we had the little skirmishes and all that, it still was peace and harmony. Wasn't no thing as slavery, rape, robbery, or none of them. Them words didn't even exist in the vocabulary of the people. Not only here, but in Akabu land, also Exium, so-called Africa today. Some of the words we use today were foreign to our vocabulary. Even the words such as God was foreign to our tongues. But we're so engrossed in it today. And I just wanted to, get back to the movie, because the movie is the subject matter. It has, like I said before, galvanizing us to become into that a unified body of concepts and deal with disagreeing or to agree. Because there were some parts of the movie that when I was in the movie, people clapped because the brother got killed like he was a villain. This brother was a revolutionary. This brother, he lived in the essence of the deception, in the quagmire maze of deception of the United Snakes of hypocrisy. The other brother, powerful Black Panther, where he lived, he was in like a shielded society, or he come from that perception and had the power to take that and bring it to this land of deception and deal with it properly in a divine way. But the script did it otherwise for whatever reason. And then another point pertaining to the movie is that a lot of people is talking about who's getting the money. It's always about the money, even though the money is a factor in this society. What is much greater than the money? What is much greater than that? Us coming together as a people, unifying around our culture and our spirituality. The money is important to a certain degree, but see, the money is a tool that they use and manipulate us with. If we get into our spirituality and our culturality and deal with it as a reality stimuli, we can change. They're going to change the money system anyway, because they're in the process of doing that anyway, because the money has no value. It's just a promissory note. A promissory note with no value, no minerals to back it up. So we have to change our ideology and our living method anyway in a few years, forcibly or just by a natural divine process that we must be blessed with by the Creator and our ancestors, if we just follow the guidelines that they set for us. It's written. It's written in the stars. It's written in the trees. It's written in nature. It's a simplistic, natural path that we must follow as Black people, as divine Black people. Let's get back to the movie. What was the purpose of the movie? Was the purpose, the end result, to come involved in the United Snakes of hypocrisy on a world scale? Because when it went off, they were at something similar to the UN, sharing the wealth of the minerals or the power to the Urunga, the Europeans, these people that have a sickness of what we call white supremacy. The European nation has this sickness that I was reading something this morning by my brother Dodd, a very prolific mastermind that I hear all the time in my chambers of my mind, amongst some of the other masterminds, Phil Valentine, Umar Johnson, Professor Griff, Pharaoh, you know, the young brother. It's so many brothers and sisters who are masters and master some area of life that they feed us nourishment that we need to pull us up and so that we can go in levels and degrees of understanding of our universe to be more profound in this universe. I don't think that the movie is going to stop right there where it ended. I think that there's going to be a couple of more parts to that, maybe like The Matrix. And what the brother, I believe I heard him say his purpose for this movement, for this movie, was for the movement, to bring us together. And I think it's done that. It's sold out across the nation. And it'd probably be $1 billion movie in a historical, quick, fast amount of time. Here in the nation, then worldwide, it may gross more than that. But the thing is, those at the top are getting their share, yeah. But we, the laymen, we get another most prevalent and profound linear wealth. Linear wealth is much greater than this fictitious monetary wealth, in a sense, in a way, that when we can grow spiritually and culturally and unify, that is the essence of this movie. For us to unify, for us to look in the mirror and say who we are a great people. And it shouldn't have took this movie to do that. We should have been already on that pathway of our ancestors in this day and time. We should have already knew who we were and who we are and how strong we are. Because that's who we are. Our spirituality and culture, ingredients doesn't come from a movie. It's already instilled in us naturally by the divine decree that's prescripted in us by our DNA. We have to study, we have to go into a natural genetic practice of who we are and where we come from and all that. Not the synthetic stuff, not the fake this and the fake that, trying to allure men or whatever. We have to be genetically inclined, spiritually inclined, so that we can be divine, so that we can ascend. We ascend for the spiritual heights in our mind and our temples, so that our temple, the energy of the Creator can emerge more greater in our temple, in our universe. See, that's what it's all about. This movie was about unification, even though those that at the top getting all the money and this and that and all that, and we with money, those with money, we won't pool our money and come together. I'm talking about all our athletes with those $100 million contracts and $50 million contracts, instead of playing games all the time. I mean, I know a lot of us are doing things. We got the LeBron James and all the other brothers that are speaking up and doing things for the community. We need more. We're trying to develop an infrastructure. We're not trying, we're doing it. By divine decree. We're doing it by our ancestors leaving the torch for us to bear, for our youth, for the future. We must instill our youth with an understanding of who they are. Some of our youth minds don't go, not only our youth, some of our people minds don't even go past 2018 years. We stuck in that paradigm of 2018 years. Example of that, I was talking to a little group of youth one day, and we was talking about that. I say, man, we stuck in 2000, it was 2016, I believe. I said, we don't think past that. We can go back 50,000 years. And I said that. He said, huh? What? 50,000 years? Yeah, I said, we built pyramids. We looked at the Sirius star without telescopes. We had the largest library on the planet. And still do as into the day, even with all the burning and looting and plunder of these Neanderthals, troglodytes, genome primates that plagiarized and stole history. Let's go back to the movie. What was the purpose of the CIA in the movie? To get the technology to use for what aims, what purposes. We know the CIA is a private corporation of these United Snakes of Hypocrisy, these culpable states. We know that their objective is for control. We know that they want us to keep staying in a mindset of being consumers and not producers. But the time has changed. We have come out the Pioneering age, and we're in the recurring age, and the water of knowledge is being spread. The consciousness has been opened up to the subconscious to merge, for us to ascend, to descend, to build, to be the yin and yang, to take on the personalities of Asa, Aset, and Hebrew, to become the individual of divine essence, to become, I don't like to use the word God, but most of us, that's what we understand. The term God, you turn it around as dog. But the natural process of nature itself with this intelligent, a supreme intelligence behind it. And us as the original people of theology, of everything, we must get back into that perception and to that understanding, to be the people that we need to be, to keep passing the torch. But we don't need to pass in that. Let's do it right here in this period of time. Let's develop the mindset. Let's develop the infrastructure of the spiritual divine people that we are in a revolutionary, evolutionary way. Malcolm once said that we may not have to have a violent revolution. Let's do it spiritually and by divine essence, with the blessings of the Creator, with the blessing of our ancestors. And if we can't get around that, then we have to deal with the measures that's given to us. We got to unify. We got to unify. The nation got to unify with the Seventh-day Adventists. The Baptists got to unify with the Sunni Muslim. And we all got to come together, whoever we are as melanated human beings, Black people. We got to unify. We got to break them bonds of divide and conquer. We got to overcome our idiosyncrasies and let go of the past. Only if it takes away from our present. If it builds our present up, then we hold on to it. See, we have to go back to the past to know where we come from and where we're going. If we never knew that we built pyramids, if we never knew that we looked at the Sirius star without telescopes, if we never knew we had the power that we have, who would we be? We'll be in a state of mind how they portray us to be. We'll be in the mind state of Tarzan and all these other Eurocentric people who had the ability to keep us down. with that John Wayne mentality, that cowboy mentality. When we're the original cowboys, everything that they got, they plagiarized and stole, but they're on top now. It seems as though they're on top, but they're slowly going down. They're the youngest society or country or doctrine or whatever going to be the fastest one to grow, the last one to grow, and the fastest one to fall, because they didn't handle it right. They couldn't handle it right because they're not a divine. Their nature is not of a divine nature. So we got to understand that. And I'll say one more time back to the movie. What did we pull from the movie? What can we pull from the movie other than all the dialogue of this negative quality? Why can't we just go in this movie, and the effect that it's having is pulling all us to the movie? It could be, I want to say through social engineering, but I'm not going to say that. But how did it become so popular? By marketing or whatever? And what is it marketing? What is the purpose of it for us? For us to dialogue in the negative or dialogue in the positive? If we can come from this movie and unify across the country, because the movie sold out across the country, then that would be the essence of the movie. That would be the blessing of the movie. And us unifying, let that be another fire to the torch that's already burning for us as a people, so that we can rise up and be who we are as a people for the next generation of our youth that's already here, waiting, looking for a direction in this age of technology. They getting it like this too. If we don't have anything there for them to pick up via our culture, our spirituality, then they're going to emulate that false reality of that Eurocentric deception and manipulation of who and what we are as a people. So our job is, after going to this movie, instead of coming out being negative, let's come out and be positive and dialogue about everything in the movie. And we say, we know it's a fictional movie written by a brother that in his mindset concept, he wasn't fictional. He is conceptual. He was trying to conceive something. His perception of it was to do something, to rise us up, in my humble opinion. I'm not in his mind. I can't think for him, but I heard him talk. And when he talked, that's what he was talking about. The movie is definitely having an effect, a monetary effect, and a mental effect, and a spiritual effect, and cultural effect, and all that. So let us mold and shape in what direction we want to go in. We don't want to go on a destructive road path or whatever. We want to go in a constructive. We want to pull the best from this movie to build us up. He gave us, the movie again gave us that self-esteem. We had the mineral to a very destructive mineral, but we kept it in a perspective of constructive. That's a good point in the movie. We not like them, because if it was like them, they'd have been about controlling the world and putting the world in, having a tyrannic attitude and all that. But we didn't. That's another good point in the movie. And our matriarchic queens and warrior oracle queens, how powerful they were. And how the men also looked to them for advice also. And that's the way we got to go to. We got to hold our women, our sisters in high esteem. We got to go to the healing. There was a lot of healing going on in that movie. And if the other brother could have healed, and that unity could have came, you know, that's what we need, unity. We need to come together and be stronger. and don't have a desire to be. Don't seek leadership. Leadership is given to you by the people. You can't be arrogant and egotistical. Not saying that brother was. He just he lived in the chaos and the confusion. He lived in the cesspool. And he's saying, man, we got the power to change this. Let's change. And he did have a situation in his mindset, I can say maybe vengeful for what happened to his father. But it's all about cause and effect, what we do in life. So I ask us as a people, if we go look at the movie, be a people that can disagree in order to agree. Let's go be positive. Let's build. Let's build upon what we have or what the movie giving us, or giving us something because we're going to see it. Whatever's drawing us to that movie, we then went and done that. It's a record recording movie. So let's be a people that can build from that. Let's stop being negative. Let's be positive. Let's be the spiritual warriors that we need to be. Let's be the torchbearers that we need to be for the next generation. We got to be those who guide and protect and who build. From here on out, let's go back to our essence and who we are, the divine essence, the spiritual essence, and the spiritual context that we have within ingrained in us. We got to let go of the indoctrination that we got from these people in the institutionalized racism, their training in schools. We having a problem in our school systems, right? So we must try to find a better system. Is it home training? What do we do as a people? Do we be part of this cyborg type mentality? Or do we be the divine people that we need to be? Divine in the essence of we being builders. We be constructive, not destructive. Going back to the movie, we must overcome all idiosyncrasies, man. We must come out of that I got to get back mentality. Because what that does is it destroys a movement. It doesn't build upon it, and that's what we need to do in this day of time. We must be builders all the time in every area of our livelihood. And let our great men, our great leaders, becoming great leaders, I should say. I want to give a shout out to one of the great leaders that I perceive to be becoming a great leader. In my perspective, I just wholeheartedly believe in it at this time. And that's our council member in D.C., in Ward 8. And they say Ward 8 is the cesspool of the political pool. But we must not let people validate us in any degree. In saying that, I support this brother, and I think we should support this brother, get behind this brother in every way. I'm really not a political analyst, or I'm not real political, but I'm analytical because I have a mind, brain, a computer, and stuff like that. But I'm more of a divine nature. I'm more of a spiritual nature, and I'm more of a revolutionary nature. And I'm a race man. But I see something in this young brother. It's a light that's bright. It's a character, a charismatic character, that if he had the support, I think he'd do everything right as a black man first. All the other things secondary. It's about the people. And I feel that with this brother. So with that, I say that we support those who support us, even though we can't perpetrate this system. It should be about change, but we got to make that change. We got to take our communities black. We got to patrol our communities. We got to be the people that are guarding our communities. We can't let the slave catchers do it, because that's what they are. You can call them police or whatever. And they're always after the fact. They're not there as a preventive measure. They're never there to prevent anything. We are there to prevent it if we want to. If we stand up and do it as black men and women, as family, even the predators, even those young warriors that's hustling and all that, we got to stand up and be protectors of one another so we can stop killing each other for what cause, what reason, a few dollars or a woman and all. It's unnecessary. We're not gaining anything by killing ourselves, having a self-destructive nature or point of view. We must be the divine individuals that we are. Our young warriors need to be young warriors instead of young thugs and stuff like that. We all went through a process. You know, I know what you're going through because I've been there, done the same things that you're doing. But there come a time in your mind or in your life where you say, what am I doing? When we know that this problem don't exist from our hands, really. We're just trying to exist, trying to make ends meet, you know, with financial ability or financial, what can I say? Acquirement of financial stability so we can support our families and be the men that, or the family, the head of the family that our family look up to us to be. But we don't have to do it with that negative energy, man, of hurting each other, stealing, robbing, and selling drugs and poisoning, killing each other. I know it's quick money, but all money, quick money ain't good money because it come and go. Even your money that you work for come and go because it ain't enough of it in this day and time. They raise the rents and they raise the this and they raise the that, but they don't raise the wages for us. They give themselves raises every year. And they're already making $100,000, $200,000. They living way comfortable. We live in contentment, which we should do. But if we had a comfort zone, then we could live a little better. But we got to understand that linear wealth is better than this financial wealth, this monetary wealth that ain't really no money nowhere. It's a note with no power, man. Money, this green money don't have no minerals to back it up. We got to study, man, and learn. Going back to the movie again, we see in the movie how we were as a people. The order we had, the alignment of the order and everything, and how they obeyed the rules and respected the culture and the spirituality. They had healing hands. They can go to the plant and all that and heal. We got the same thing. What my brother Humam Abdulmalik, the drum beater, he also can go to a plant and tell you what you can hook up as tea or whatever and eat. We need those type of people. We need people like Amir Muhammad down there giving us a history of who we are in the essence of Muslims in the country, in North America. We need people like Reverend Wilson down there ready to do a march on March the 1st. We need us to come together for that as a people to show unity, we got to show these people that enough is enough. We can't take no more, and we're not taking no more. We're taking a stand. Like my brother Timon say, and brother Councilman Trayon White say, Don't just stand there, do something. We got to do something. We got to show these people that you're not taking advantage of us no more. We're not going for the manipulation or none of that was before. We have come to this brick wall. We are coming to this dividing point. We're going to divide ourselves from all your negative energy. Every perception that you have of us and try to give to us and make of us, no more, because we know who we are. We know that we are divine people, that we are the original people. And if we don't know that, we know it today, because that's what we are promoting, who we are culturally and spiritually. This is what we're going to live by. This is what we're going to speak by. We have to understand that. We have to understand our universe so we can have a profound effect upon the universe and the omniverse that these people think they control with this political system they have. It's a workable system, but the hypocrite, the hypocrisy, and the hypocrites and the snakes that's in it make it what it is. We have to know that this is this one big corporation, and what they call the government is a criminal enterprise that's comprised of all these people that's supposed to be government, from the FBI, CIA, the Federal Reserve, the IRS. None of them government, or say federal government, or any type of aspect of being government. They're private corporations with the stigma of government to do what they do for a group of people that has this big old charade of Uncle Sam and all that. But the reality of it is that the Corporation of England cobbles states with a hidden agenda for us to be consumers, servants. But what's going to happen is what's been prophesied in aspects of the truth that's strangely mixed with falsehood. The first will be last and the last will be first. Not with a lot of emotionalism and all that, with calculation, with study, with being revolutionary and evolutionary in the process. Don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with getting some money and all that, but it's the way you do it. Ain't nothing wrong with going to school and get discipline. It's a discipline. It's not education or indoctrination, because all that is institutionalized racism in the whole schooling system. You can see it's falling to a charade, falling apart, because they got a certain criteria they want to get, agenda, certain type of agenda. They don't want us to know who we are, so they feed our children all this misconception, and we redundant it every year, even with this Black History thing. We don't need no Black History Month. Our history is eternal. Our history is infinite, and we make history every day. So why we need a Black History Month? They the one that need a white history, or this creation of the concept of white. They ain't white. That was done back in when, I think 18 something, when they wanted to separate us, because it was some Europeans and Africans coming together, dealing with their dilemma of being, servitude, that subservient class that they were. So they created that concept of white, so to make them think they're better than us. But they can never be better than us, because we are the divine people. We are the people with the essence of the Creator in us. We are the people with the right frame of reference of dealing with the world affairs and treating the world like it's supposed to be treated, and stop destroying and polluting it, because Mother Earth feels also. Well, I believe I've said everything I can say from my, my minute understanding of what's demanding of us as far as the context of this movie. And what I got from it, I enjoyed it very much. I've seen it twice already. I'm going to see it some more. So that with my daughter and my son and stuff like that, so that we can get a perspective of it. And I think that this particular time with this particular movie, I think we should have discussions of it or around it. Like you talked about 12 Years a Slave, the butler and all that. You need to talk about something like this that has uplift us to show us a greater aspect of us as human beings, as black men and women that in high esteem, with strength, with glory, not being subservient, but being strong, being the leaders of the world with who we are. We've always been the leaders of the world, and we always will be. We just got to take these veils from off our eyes and stop walking around with our eyes wide shut. And stop selling our souls and becoming Negropeans, trying to emulate them when they emulating us. Then they trying to duplicate and replicate what we had in the past. They dealing with this modern technology to make us think that this is something new. But we done this before, back in ancient times. That's why we'll always be divine. We went through this process, this turmoil of hell, and went through all the lynching, burning, and raping, but we still here. That shows you how strong we are as a people. In this day and time, we must establish a foundation of a true black nation here. Be united across this American whole nation. Make the connection with Akabulan, with all the minerals of everything that we need to survive, really. The computers and the telephones and all that, all those little minerals, that little piece of wire or whatever, comes from under the ground, under the earth in Akabulan, Exium. And Africa is not a country, not states. It's a continent. Each one of them is a country. There's 53 of them. Those countries, them words, them like Nigeria, Sudan, and Ivory Coast and all that. It's countries, not states. We have to realize that they made Africa smaller than what it is because they don't want us to know how huge we are as a people, how great we are as a people. But the movie, getting back to the movie again, through perception, we've seen it. They put it on the screen for us. I want to thank the brother who wrote it. Just like the sister who wrote The Matrix. That should have been a black class. I mean, with a lot of black actors or whatever. Now what they need to do is show the real biblical truth. Whatever the biblical truth is, they need to show it in the context of who lived it. They need to show the reality of where these people come from that's in control of today. What caves they came out. Even those so-called Jews that's over there in Palestine and Israel, where they really come from. The Qasir tribe over there in Europe, they're not Semitic people. These people always doing deceptive things. They're masters of manipulation, mind control. That's what the CIA do. A lot of these shootings, I think they're derived from Manchurian candidates, mind control. Because this is what these people do. They try to be psychological masters and manipulators. But we are greater than that because we are divine people. We have the essence and the energy of nature in us. The energy of the sun. And everything that's natural is in our universe. And we must understand that. We must understand everything because it's already divinely prescripted in us from our DNA. We got to learn other things like the chakra centers, the 7 points of the chakra centers, the main ones. Then we got to learn about the kundalini. We got to learn about the pineal gland. We got to learn and understand that when it's open, your perception is much greater, much higher. And see, this is our weapon. Our weapon is understanding who we are as a people, a divine people with a divine nature. That is our weapon. They got all this technology and all these guns and all that. But when you got the divine essence and protection of your ancestors and the creator upon you, and you got the protection of the matriarchic element, the energy of the creator comes through them and comes to us. And we got to give it back to them and everyone. Because the energy, the substance of nature is in us, a divine nature. That's what we have to evolutionize that in an evolutionary way so that we can be more revolutionary in our approach in establishing a black world again. It starts from self, purification of self, changing your thinking. What you think, what you believe, you must change. You must change how you talk. You must change what you eat. We must purify ourselves, fortify ourselves with the truth, with the spirituality of who we are. And once we purify ourselves, then we go to our family within our houses. And from there, we go to the community. And from the community to the state. And from the state to the nation. From the nation to the world. And we be doing this in sync with our brothers in Australia, our brothers in Africa, our brothers in China, our brothers on every facet of this globe, and we come together as one. We don't deal with religion to take us apart. If you're going to deal with religion, let it bring us together. I don't care what you is, what you practice. You can be religious, you can be Muslim, Christian, or Jew. Your concept should be about you. You is us, one, together, in a unified effort to overcome a self-destructive nature that's been socially engineered by these, I'll say, with their demonic nature, their evil energy, their soulless perception of who they are. They don't know who they are. They're trying to find themselves. That's why they keep bumping into everything. They can't find themselves because themselves comes from us. All mankind come from us because we're humanity. We're the original people. They lost knowledge of themselves because their knowledge comes from our knowledge because they don't have any because that's why they stole all ours and said it's theirs. They claim it. If you think I'm lying, go over the Vatican under those tunnels, the miles of tunnels, and see what they have under there. Go over in England, over the Queen of England, and see all that wealth they got that they stole from us. Do that. I'm not, I don't speak from false reality or just be speaking. I speak from what I've read, what I accept to be true. Not saying that my truth is the truth, but I know this here. If I can parlay into what leaders say, what my leaders have been saying, and I'm saying the same thing, or I've said something before they said, then they said what I've said, then my truth is the truth of our leaders. So I am truthful, and I'm a human being, and I may do things that's unbecoming of a person that's claiming to be this and that. That's why I don't claim that. I know that I'm a human being and I know I ain't perfect, but I ain't gonna do nothing to hurt myself or hurt my people. What I do is by mutual consent. When I talk to people, whatever I do, I agree to and they agree to, and we do it. It's not criminal. Any act that I do today, I'm gonna be at war. And I'm at war. It's a silent war against my people. And I just ain't gonna sit back and accept it. But I deal with it with the weapons of truth, my words, my inner being, my inner standing that's given to me from the Creator and my ancestors that had left the pathway for me to follow. And I walk in that pathway in the light of the darkness, in the darkness of the light that comes from us with all my delight of my matriarchic queens that manifest dreams into reality. Those who I pay homage to are them that are the mothers of life, the givers of life, with our brothers as their compatible merging together to make one in the essence of eternal life, in the essence of the Ankh, in the essence of Ma'at, in the essence of our creed that we got to believe in. We got to come together as one. We got to take back our communities. We got to do everything in the essence of blackness. I give the shout outs to Minister Farrakhan. I give the shout outs to Reverend Wilson, Jeremiah Wright, all the brothers that's Phil Valentine, Umar Johnson. I give shout outs to all the sisters. Our ancestor Frances Cress Wilson and all the sisters that's doing something to uplift us, to build us back to where we're supposed to be, the black essence of where we're supposed to be. We got to do this yesterday. Got to do it yesterday because they do 50-year plans, 30-year plans. We can see the effect of it now. Now, schooling systems. And they're attacking us every way with chemtrails, with the lead in the water, with the GMO foods. If we don't start our infrastructure and planting our own foods, teaching our own children and all that, then we're going to still be stuck in this recycling process of perpetrating this same old racist institution of white supremacy, institutionalized racism. We have to stop it now. We got to, as a people, or we ain't going to survive. But I ain't going to say that. We are going to survive because we can't die. Only our bodies will go. The temples will erode and all that, dissipate. But the energy of the Creator is in us. So that never goes, never can die. I don't know if it will return in reincarnation or whatever, but I know one thing. We as a people must be the essence of love. Love. The essence of love, the essence of power, and the essence of peace amongst us. And we almost always got to get knowledge, because knowledge and wisdom is the key to what we got to be. We got to understand who we are. We got to go to esoteric, arcane knowledge, and everything that they said is bad, we got to let that be on them. That's why I say I be a warlock. I be a voodoo priest. I be everything that they say is bad. I be that, and I put it in my being, but on a divine scale, in a divine way, in a way that's going to make me stronger and perceive things naturally and spiritually and divinely. And I say this earnestly, that I'm not a celebrity. I don't have no money. That ain't my objective. I just want to sustain and survive myself and my young son and my older son and my daughter and my grandchildren and all, and my extended family. Because I'm a part of all. I'm all in all. I'm gonna go back to the movie one more time, then I'm gonna get off this this topic. I'm gonna say this, and this I'm relating this to the movie. Who I am. I'm a spiritual warrior, mystical warrior, warrior priest, king, and a mystic griot. I'm anointed in the light of Christ, because Christ ain't nothing but a title. And I know this. And they say, as a man thinketh, so is he. So who am I? I give you that. And then I'll say this. I live up to my title. Courageous journalist, servant of the sovereign Lord. That's my name. Now I may be looking for another lane because my degree of understanding has risen me up into who I am divinely. And if I go all the way black to where I'm supposed to be, then maybe that I may need to go another degree in changing my name. And I'm relating this to the movie. I'm both of those brothers. Then cousins, I'm both of them. I can deal with the revolutionary aspect of me and wanting to go forward in a revolutionary way, then I can be evolutionary, not being part of the system or wanting to be part of the United Nations and all that. Because I know they cobble states. But in that way, development of us, for us to build a infrastructure, to establish an infrastructure today, to build upon it today for tomorrow. But we got to go to the past to understand the presence. This moment right here where I'm speaking to you is by divine decree, because I don't have to be here, the lifestyle that I live. But our creator and my ancestors had protected me and guided me to this moment to be able to speak to you from my heart, from my mind, from the self of the divine nature that I have and the understanding that I have. I understand and I overstand, but understanding is the best standing that you can do. And you got to stand for something, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And realize that Martin said we may be in a burning house. You smell the smoke, we need to come out of there. And he said that dream he had might have been a nightmare. I pulled a cover over my head, because we still living in a nightmare if we continue to be a part of this system and don't change it and bring it where it's supposed to be. I don't think the European leadership is no longer needed for us as a people globally, because they're leading us to destruction. They got a button that can destroy the world. What kind of madness is that? And to take the seeds from food, what kind of madness is that? To create HIV and Ebola and mad cow disease, what kind of madness is that? That is our leadership that we must get from under. We must come black, the blackness and the oneness. And I'll leave you with that. Going back to the movie, great movie. Check it out. I'm going to check it out a couple of more times just to be checking it out. I'm not doing it for the money. I don't care nothing about the money and who makes the money. I don't care what it does to us as a people. It's bringing us together. Look at that aspect. We going in there, with some pride and some dignity. That's what we need to uplift, to give our children. But don't just let our children go look at the movie without understanding what they're looking at. Because a lot of us had a misconception. We can't go in there we got to go in there and dialogue when we come out. Instead of saying, oh, this was that, neither the green the morning. We got to come together. We got to unify, man. We got to be able to disagree to agree. We got to come together in love, peace, and understanding. As brothers and sisters, as a family, extended family, we got to believe in trusting one another. Our young warriors out there on them street corners, man, the drugs and all that, and they're killing each other for what? We got to stop that. I tell you what, if we organize and come together, we ain't got to say, I got to feed my family, I got to do this, I got to eat and all that concept. That's bull crap. All this, I'm a baller and all that, some bull crap. Man, they use you on the basketball court. When you're a professional, you ain't nothing but a slave to them. They make trillions of dollars off our abilities. Football, basketball, baseball, boxing, and all that. And they use you because they let you get that money. See, the same way they let you, they'll tear you down. Look at Bill Cosby. Build him up and they tore him down. Anybody else? Look at what's his name? Tiger Woods, man. 5 games. All he got to do is win 5 games. He'll be the greatest golf player ever. Like that. What did they do? Or what did he do? He didn't accept who he was holistically. He dealt with them, the Neanderthal, troglodyte, genome primate, and was, messing around and all that. I ain't got nothing to do with his personal life, but 5 games, man. 5 games. That's all you got to do, Tiger Woods. And that'll be another milestone for us as a people to show who are the rulers on this planet Earth, man. I know they manipulated you and probably took your back out of them, but man, you got to do that. You got to do that for the other little Tiger Woods. You got to get your mind back, man. You got to get it back and get it black. And all the other people, man, that went in another direction and somewhat hurt our people. I don't respect a couple of people, but that's my personal idiosyncrasy. But what can I say? I just want to say, us as a people, let's rise with the time. Let's what is it? Roll, roll, roll up, roll gently down the stream. Murray, Murray, Murray. Life is but a reality that we got to construct. Say power, peace, and love. I'll see y'all next time. Blackanized Report.